Good morning, world. Welcome to Jeanine's tea time. I told you guys that every Friday we're gonna have a tea now at 10 a.m. tea, wherever I am in the world, so I will always let you know the time zone. So cool. Hello, Anna. Hello, Jeanine. Amazing. I love it when there's another Jeanine whose name is spelled like mine. It doesn't happen that often. Cheers to that. Drinking today a very classical chamomile tea, because I gotta admit, good morning. Since I've been in London, the air quality really sucks and I'm permanently coughing. I really haven't had this in a long time. So this tea time, we're having a chamomile tea together. So I thought the purpose of all those tea times is to always keep you a little bit, but take you a little bit behind the scenes of what's going on, what's coming up in my world, and let's talk about a couple of things. And I already said, for me, always August, September, October, November are the craziest months when it comes to selling. And in the beginning, I actually didn't really know why. And now I always feel like, okay, everything I've been preparing in the beginning of the year, what I was working on, it was like putting the seed into the earth, but it's now flourishing and growing. And I always feel it's such, and maybe you resonate with it, and also let me know, like, nah, we're not on the same page here. Lionsgate portal is coming up. So it's a portal of 8/8, August 8. And for me, it always has been a super, super strong manifestation portal. So meaning that the energies are very strong. And I always pick this up immediately. Like last night, I didn't sleep. I slept like a baby, actually. And I woke up at 6. And it was really wild because I was so tired. And usually I'm never tired. I'm like already up at like 5 before my alarm. And I know when I wake up and I'm still tired, I always check Schumann frequency to see if there were a lot of energies coming in. It's very interesting. Maybe you haven't heard about it. The Schumann frequency is basically the frequency of the earth. And you can see if like new strong energies are coming in. And in the beginning, when I heard about it, I'm like, okay, what is this? It's a little bit abstract. It's a little bit weird. However, what I realized every time I was like kind of tired, tired and exhausted together, I checked that frequency and saw, wow, a lot of energy is coming in. And the more you're actually paying attention, the more you're feeling, the more you're picking up your own energy, other people's energy, their frequency field. Check with the Schumann frequency is very mind-blowing how you react to it. So last night, a lot of energies came in, and I know by now, okay, if I'm tired, I can check and I see that correlation. Cool. They're more Lionsgate portal lovers here. Yeah. So the energies around this portal are always very, very intense. You can check by Schumann frequency, as I mentioned, just Google it. And you will see it. And then in that, it's a graph, and you check for the white light. So if you see the Schumann frequencies on that graph, you will check for the white lights. And that indicates that stronger than normal energies or stronger energies than the current Earth frequency came in. And it's mind-blowing. So the energies that are coming in from like now till about the 10th, 12th of August are very, very strong. And if I'm not aware of it, I just can live in my everyday life. I just do whatever, with no intention, with no awareness. Or, since you're joining Jeanine's Teen Time, and okay, it's Lionsgate portal, and you check the frequencies of the earth, the Schumann frequency, you will see, oh, wow, this whole time, stronger energies are coming in daily. How am I going to use this for my business? What is the seed I'm going to plant right now with that energy? And it's kind of, for me, what I've been doing all over the last years. And it's, we can plant a seed when it's not season. And then we wonder why we can't harvest anything, because all the seeds we've planted were not in season. And when you simply know, okay, it's winter time, it's not time to plant a seed, then obviously you don't have to do it. But when you know it's spring, it's summertime, it's time to plant a seed, and you do it, then it's no surprise anymore, okay, that you can harvest a couple months later. And for me, this is also true when it comes to business. Very often for me, I have seasons, and I saw this in all my clients in the last 5 years as well. There are seasons when you plant. There are seasons for internal work. The month of starting at the end of December, January, February, is going very deep inside, doing internal work. If you're part of the riches, you will love it. Those months will be dedicated to that. And then there are seasons, like right now, where it's all about, I translate it to selling, being outside, showing, talking about your programs, doing all the work in order to make revenue. And that's why what you can expect all the next month. We're starting now, next week, with the first masterclass. I'm so excited about magnetic selling, followed by a very intensive training for a month. It's called the Premium Buyer. And it's really about finding a target audience, your target audience, that has money. Because you all would agree that someone who buys a cheap Fiat car is a different buyer than the person that buys a Porsche. And if everything's possible for your business, wouldn't you agree? You prefer the buyer, first of all, that has money for your programs and that likes to spend the money on your programs. And the experience I've gained on this topic in the last 5 years is outrageous. It's out of this world, because I sold programs from 39 euros up to 400,000, my one-on-one coaching. And people bought. But the buyer at every price point, completely a different one. And the more I understand the psychological behavior of the buyer of my program, the easier it is to talk to that person. The easier it is to sell. Because wouldn't you agree? The moment you have someone that wants to buy a Porsche, you have a Porsche, and the two match, it's a very easy, natural conversations happening. However, if you're selling a Porsche for 150,000 and you have someone in your store that only wants a Fiat for 10,000, wouldn't you agree that there is such a big mismatch in communication? There's no base. Those two cannot meet. There is one way. And this is what I see very often coaches doing then. It's like, okay, I have someone in my store that only wants to buy a Fiat for 10,000, but I only have a Porsche for 150,000. So before I don't sell anything, I give him my Porsche, value 150,000 for 10,000. A lot of people keep decreasing their prices to such a low point that they're already frustrated, that they're not motivated, that they're not excited. And then they wonder why the business is going in such a hard energy, that it feels very often exhausting, that it's like, okay, that you get into this chasing energy, this energy where it's like, okay, where's the next client? What can I sell? It's always like next. Instead of understanding the psychological aspects here of the buyer, and this is a whole program, is coming up in August. And it's I dedicated a whole month to that. So really, really stay tuned, because both programs, the masterclass, magnetic selling, and the premium buyer is going to be insane. If you're in the riches in my world, and you haven't heard about the riches, is my membership. It's a 1-year commitment, and basically you have access to all of the programs I'm offering for the full year, except masterminds and one-on-one coachings, obviously. Like anything close proximity is not included, but all the trainings that are happening is part of it. So I'm really, really excited for everything that's coming up. And for me, you know, this whole journey of questioning, doubting the sales process of what I've learned happened when 5-6 years ago, when I started my business. I was online. I said, hey guys, this is my offer. Hi, this is my offer. No one bought. Probably no one knows. I'm probably the only one that happened to. So yeah, I was talking about my offers in the beginning. No one bought for the first couple of months. So normal reflection, if we don't have that self-awareness, we think, okay, something is wrong with me. Something's wrong with me. I don't know how to sell. So let's go to someone that can teach me how to sell. So back then, obviously, that's what I did. And I did go to all of the sales trainings, online sales trainings, offline sales trainings. So here I was sitting and they tell me, you have to use this technique, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you have to say you only have 5 spots. When in reality, I had 100. You have to create urgency. You have to tell people if they don't do this, this is taken away. And it was always that energy. I'm like, okay, wow. It felt, first of all, it felt so unnatural to me. I had a really, really, really hard time selling. It was the least favorite things of all the things in my business. However, not because I didn't like to sell. I didn't like to sell in the way I've learned. I didn't want to tell any lies. And this was the reason everyone back then told me, gotta start with ClickFunnels, gotta start with ClickFunnels. I'm like, I checked this out. I really didn't like it. Thought it was so ugly. If you're using it, nothing's wrong with it. This is just my experience, okay? It's my experience. And then it was always those like webinar funnels, who remembers? And then you always had to say, it always felt so scammy, everything. Like you had to say like, oh, welcome to this webinar, Marie and Michael and Lena and Lisa. Although those people were not there, just so when someone watched the recording, it sounded like more people would be there. And there are like programs out there that fake simulate this. So when someone buys or watches a webinar, it seems to that person more people would be online, although you're the only one watching. And I'm like, back then, I'm like, this feels so scammy. This is just not me. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm like, no, if there's a way, I'm out. Then I'm not having a business. And till this day, you know, everything I learned basically always started with, you should treat your buyer like your buyer is a retard. Do you know what I mean? Does someone, can you guys follow? Everything you learn in online marketing about selling very often starts from that point. You should treat your buyer like it's a retard. The buyer doesn't know what's going on. The buyer is a little dumbass. So often this attitude. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. My community, they're smart. They're here to build $1 million business. They're already successful. They know what they're doing. None of you, you're not dumb. And also the energy for me was always in, I don't want to convince you. I don't want you to convince you to join my world, to have a look. Because either you feel like, hey, it's so cool what Jeanine is talking to, and I feel like I want to give it a try or not. But if someone to me till today feels like, nah, I'm not drawn to it, I don't want to do it, I don't want to sit here and convince you with any kind of psychological tactics so you buy. And very often what I learned and what I saw is, you should do this, You convince people now to buy now, because if they don't, the offer will disappear. Although I can run it again tomorrow, but hey, the offer will be gone and you missed out on a lifetime. And if you don't buy now, you're dumb and this is over. Your life will also be over. And I was always there. I'm like, this is not the attitude. This is not the vibe I desire to create. This does not feel all right. And back then I just started learning about manifestation. But basically my question was always to the universe, hey, is there also a different way that works? Can I also do this in a different way? It's just not my vibe. And the more questions I asked, obviously, the more answers I had to receive. And next week in the masterclass, Magnetic Selling, we're just finishing the sales page. I will provide it to you later. We are starting with this topic of how to create a magnetic seller vibe without all of this online marketing, how you should sell, what you should create, without creating scarcity, without saying, okay, if you don't buy, you're a dumbass, your life is over, without creating pressure. And why, especially today, I'm no fan of that. Because what happens if you think about it? Now I push. I force you to buy now. Magnetic selling, the premium buyer. The riches. I force you now to do it. I do all the psychological steps. I know how to do it. So I could do it. So I force all of you in. You buy the program. Now you're in a program in which you've only before decided, I want to be in. But it's not like a hell yes, I'm convinced this is a program, I want to learn about this now. It's like a hell yes, the attitude, the energy is such a different vibe. But it was rather, I convinced you, I kind of pushed you to do it. Cool. So now short term, it was an amazing cash injection. Short term, everyone bought. And the thing, what happens is, now I have people in my program which love it. And I also have people in there which actually didn't really want to sign up, that didn't feel a hell yes. So those people for sure are not going to buy the next thing. And if I only have a short-term perspective in my business, this is going to work amazing. Because you see a lot of people that go basically from one target audience to the next, to the next, to the next. Because it's like, I start, I kind of do like a little shitty, scammy thing. Of course, the people are going to stay with me because who wants to be treated like this? And the people leave. However, what I always did till today, and this is mind-blowing to me, how many people I've been working with for more than 4 years, which come and go, come and go, come and go, come and go. They're always there all the time. This is also a vibe we can have in our business. And online marketing does not teach that the classical way, how actually to nurture the customers you have, to have them as permanent returning customers. Why should you always focus on starting over and over again? Instead of also focusing on like, hey, how can I nurture what I've already created? It's such a different vibe. It's a complete different approach. So if I focus on a long-term perspective, then I know, okay, maybe today you're not gonna buy the masterclass magnetic selling. Maybe today you're not gonna buy the riches. Maybe today you're not gonna buy the premium buyer just because it doesn't feel aligned to you right now. And that's okay. The moment I can be okay with it, I just will be here, be showing up consistently, providing you with more and more value. And the moment you feel all right, the moment it feels aligned to you, guess what's going to happen? You sign up. And when you make that decision, it's a whole different energy the moment we start working. And now I have the chance to actually build a long-term relationship with you. But wouldn't you agree, the moment you're at a store and someone comes, I always see this in the cities. The people that are selling anything like salt from the Dead Sea, any like lotions, I don't know, that make your skin super soft or what, you know, like as a people in the streets, especially here in London, that always come, Miss, you look so amazing, come over, I've got something for your skin, you gotta give it a try. And they push and they push, and you know, you say, no, I'm not interested. No, you have to try it. Come on, let's do it. You don't know what you're missing out on. Here, here, here. And they run and they give you all those samples. And you think like, hey, I said no. And see, like for us, it's just not nice when we are being sold. But the energy is so different when someone doesn't push and you approach and you ask like, hey, can you tell me about your programs? Can you tell me about your programs? Oh, cool. Interesting. Just give me kind of the facts and let me make a decision if I desire this or not. However, in order to have this in this perspective, this energy, it only works if we think long term. But if you in your mind are just, well, think, this month, this week, the next sale, it's not going to work. So this is just something I wanted to share with you guys today. Cheers to that. Chamomile tea. About how we start setting up magnetic selling, how we start attracting different people with a different budget, with a different attitude. And I will share more content about this and why I believe this is actually the future. Because also as energies becoming stronger and people becoming more aware, people are done with this shit. People are done with buying stupid things. People are done with being forced to decisions, forced buying stupid programs. And I feel there's really, really big change already happening. And people are becoming more aware of it. And really, I'm so excited for the premium buyer because it's just going to blow your mind. The things we're talking about, psychology, about the premium buyer, really, it's an art to attract people that have money. It's not difficult. They're all out there all the time. In such bigger amounts than you've thought. Just till yesterday, you didn't know how to attract. Just till yesterday, you did not know how to attract them. And that's okay. Because we can learn everything and anything if we desire to. And if you desire to learn that approach, reach out. Reach out. Can't wait to share it with you. The program is really, really cool. And I know it's gonna be so transformational for your business, the things we talk about. So I'm so blessed. I'm so happy you're here in this amazing community. And I can't wait to see you either in magnetic selling, the riches, or the premium buyer, and can't wait to share everything I know about this, everything I've learned. So you have a different selling experience. So happy, so excited that you're here. And either way, I will see you next Friday, 10 a.m. I think I'm still going to be in London or in Paris. I don't know. I haven't decided it. But I will let you know, guys, which time zone. But next Friday for Jeanine's tea time. And big hug to everyone.